Original.
Hello, and welcome to Webcrawler's mini mailbag episode, where we play your voicemails and read your emails. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And I may be producer Maria.
Whoa.
I wonder how we find out. Do a full body cavity search.
Oh.
First, let's see if we have any new reviews. I think we might actually.
I think we do.
First one, 5 stars from Yvette. A simulation theory. You guys should definitely have a Craig and Jason come on to talk about this in a full episode. So that's more of a suggestion than a review, but I still appreciate the 5 stars. So that's honestly all that matters. This one, 5 stars from M. Knutson. My new favorite comfort podcast. These girls are so lovely and they cover the coolest stuff.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Here's another one, 5 stars from Caitlin. Hi, guys. I love you all equally.
That's nice.
Interesting.
It's fine with me.
I listen to you almost every morning while I get ready for work. I just came across a story about the mostly harmless hiker. It's an unsolved mystery compared a lot with the Chris McCandless, but much more enigmatic as there are pictures of this hiker and tons of other hikers spent a bunch of time with him, but no one knows who he is. He died in a tent in 2018 in Florida, and investigators are still trying to figure out his identity and his story. Thought it might be something intriguing to discuss if you haven't already. Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Interesting. And here's one from October 30th that I'm not sure if said yet. From Believe Tom DeLong. My favorite bimbos, 5 stars. La, la, la.
That's nice.
La, la, la.
La,
Yeah, so thank you for these reviews. Please keep them coming. We love them so much. They mean a lot to us.
Okay, we got some voice mails.
Yes, let's play that shit.
Hi, this message is for web callers. I'm Sid. I'm calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Ooh.
I'm kind of calling in regards to the Circleville letters. It just made me think of it. So during quarantine, I was getting these really weird letters from China.
What?
And
Wait.
3 packages.
The seeds.
To be exact. They weren't letters.
Oh my
they were
God.
packages. And each of them were really strange. The first one I got was like this weird Dollar Tree looking toy, like probably like a toy. I don't know. I was weirded out by it, so I just threw it away. And then the second one I got was really strange. It was the plastic case that the old iPhone earphone things would come in, and it was like literally just that. And it was kind of dirty too, which was really gross. Anyways, I threw
Weird.
that one away too. And then the third one came, and I decided to keep it. It was like a weird, like almost like connect the dot kind of Dollar Tree game again. It was like a child's toy, like really cheap. I don't know. I think they're so strange. And I Googled it. There's like weird packages people get from China that have seeds in them. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to call in and tell you guys about that and see if anyone else has anything similar that's happening to them. I love you guys so much. Bye.
Yeah, wasn't that a thing? It was seeds were being sent.
Yeah, so the seeds thing that they thought it was that during the beginning of quarantine, people were majorly panicking about food, and they didn't realize that people were going on Amazon and they thought that they were buying food like vegetables, but what they were really buying was vegetable seeds. And then because of quarantine having such like a hold up with mail and stuff like that they like forgot that they purchased them and didn't even realize that they were purchasing seeds and not food. So then like 4 or 5 months later, they got like seeds in the mail.
You want some tomatoes? Grow them your goddamn self.
Yeah, like not realizing that instead of tomatoes, they had ordered tomato seeds and that like they came like 5 months later. It's like what someone had speculated was what was happening.
Someone had another theory, or like that companies on Amazon would send people products just so they could get the reviews, or like they could have records of them shipping and shipping stuff to people.
Oh, how
To
weird.
like build up their company, something along the lines of that. I don't know exactly how that works, but like
That is strange.
okay, another
This
voicemail.
is for web crawlers. I wanted to say first that I am absolutely in love with you. Thank you for being alive. Secondly, I had like a few weird things, especially after like Craig's Synchronicity corner.
Here we
But the first
go.
one, I was listening to the Sam's episode on Halloween, and like I kept going to check the Spotify like time signature.
Oh no.
And for whatever reason, that episode like kept starting over and over and over. Like it would get to like
Oh,
a
God.
minute, and then it would start over again. But the audio was perfect. Like it wasn't like it was skipping at all. The audio was perfect, and the time signature was just looping on itself constantly. So I listened to the whole episode, and it said that I only got a minute into the episode, like again and again. It was wild. And like that might just sound like a technical difficulty, like an app issue. Let me just say that my app is updated, okay? Fully updated. And then I listened to like 3 more episodes. It didn't happen with your episode. It didn't happen to any of the other music I was listening to. I've never like seen that happen before. So I thought that was interesting that happened
is
during
weird.
the Sam's episode. And
That's
then,
very weird.
like in regards to synchronicities, I'm sure you're getting a million people calling in talking about their synchronicities. I have 2 that are like pretty good. Like to me, they're juicy. And the thing about synchronicities is that like most of the time they're really only spectacular to you. Like Craig actually had some very
Right.
good ones that are just like, whoa, like those are some grade A synchronicities. So I used to live in Vermont, and I was camping at a reservoir in Vermont, like kayak camping. This is like super rural Vermont. So I'm driving on the back roads, and I'm listening to like YouTube tarot. And that might sound dumb, whatever. Judge me, that's cool. But this woman is awesome. And so she, like the reading was super resonating with me, and she kept talking about the number 26. She's like, 26 keeps coming up. I don't know what that means to you. You know, if you're resonating with this reading, 26 is going to be a highly synchronous number. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, like the reading is resonating with me, but those aren't my numbers. I know what my numbers are. And so whatever, fuck it. So I, didn't pay attention to it. At the end of the drive, I get to this rural dirt, like Vermont State campground parking lot. And a woman comes up to me, and people don't generally approach me and like ask for directions when I'm doing outdoor things most of the time. But this woman approached me and was like so sweet and was asking me directions and like if I was familiar with the campground. I was like, oh my God, yes, I love this place. It's magical. And then she's like, okay, have a good day. And then she turns over, or she looks down, and like as she's walking away,
The voicemail ends. I think there's a part 2.
Oh my God.
As she was walking
What a
away.
cliffhanger.
Dot.
Perfect cliffhanger.
I know. It's a good
Really
cliffhanger.
is. Seriously.
web crawlers, this is a continuation. I'm officially one of those lengthy people. This is like embarrassing. Anyway, so in a campground in Vermont, this woman walks away, looks on the ground in a dirt parking lot, and says, oh, look, 26 cents. Picks it up, puts it in my hand, and goes, it's your lucky day. And I'm like, bitch, you don't even know. You have no idea what you just did. Anyway, so that like blew my mind, knocked my socks off.
Is it
Yeah.
26 cents?
The other one that I have
Yeah.
is even more like, holy shit.
That's
So
weird.
this summer, I went on a road trip. I drove down to North Carolina to be with a person that I love for a week. Long story, painful, haha, whatever.
Ooh.
Anyway, so I thought it would be a good idea after I left North Carolina, after like this blissed out week, to camp alone in Tennessee. So camped alone in Tennessee, cried a lot of tears alone at 10 irrelevant details. And then like the next morning, I was leaving to drive back to New Jersey. Something I started doing this summer is like recording myself. Like I record podcasts to myself, kind of like an audio diary of like
Oh.
the emotional state that I'm going through.
Oh,
And it
that's
finds that
interesting.
like if I record these things to myself and then I play it back, it like soothes me because like someone else, or like I'm validating my own thoughts. It just like makes you hear a voice doing it. Anyway,
Interesting.
Oh, I
so
like
I
that.
recorded this whole long like podcast to myself. I'm driving in Tennessee, and I played it back because it helps to play it back right
Oh,
away.
no.
So I was listening to the sound of my own voice.
Oh,
no.
God, I'm scared.
I don't
and
want to know what happened.
It was me being like,
I'm
oops,
scared.
oopsie, like, haha, oh well. As I'm driving, I pass a church in Tennessee with a sign in front of it that says oops for some reason. And so as I'm
No.
listening to myself, that I recorded myself saying oops it lines up perfectly with me
No.
passing the sign
I hate it.
in a Tennessee church.
I hate
Anyway,
it.
thank you so much. Thanks for your consideration. Love you. Bye.
I
You
hate
know what
it.
they say? Is it odd or is it God?
Oh, this stuff freaks
That's
me out.
bonkers.
That's fucking insane.
It's so weird.
It is weird,
I love it. I like that one.
That's very odd.
but it could be God.
I've never thought of recording my own thoughts. I would sound
interesting.
so crazy.
I bet it is comforting.
If anyone ever found that, though, I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh no.
More
It would
so
get,
than like if they
Alley.
found my written diary.
get leaked on iCloud somehow and downloaded. Everyone would
Oh
make
my
fun
God, I
of
would
me.
lose it.
Okay, another voice. A male.
This message is for web crawlers. Yo, what up, ladies? It's Miss Jackal.
Miss
I was
Jackal.
just calling because I was just listening to the live show from this last week, and the master's student was talking about her drug thing and how those people were clowns. And it reminded me of something that just happened. My father-in-law grows his own weed, and
Nice.
my
Sick.
sister-in-law goes to school in Arizona. So they send her care packages every once in a while, and she puts weed in it for her. Just recently, we sent her one that had like all her voting stuff in it, and like her mom always sends her a bag of rice, like just because.
Cool.
Then it didn't go through. Her dad called post office. They called back, and it was like some retired police officer who said that the package got flagged because of the rice and they were looking for drugs, but like was like beating around the bush. Basically, he couldn't open the package without permission because they didn't actually have any proof that there was drugs in the package.
Oh wow.
So he was trying to get permission, and he was saying that he had like called other like members of the family because there was females writing on the package, and he was like basically trying to get permission from somebody to open the package.
What?
So
It's weird.
whatever all goes through, he ends up admitting it like a dumbass. And so the guy opens up the package, takes the weed out, says he's going to destroy it, packages back up the package. Honestly, at this point, it's messed up because her voting material was in there, so she already missed her vote. Like, she didn't get to vote because of this.
Ugh.
And they never even
Fuck
reached
that.
out. They were just waiting for somebody to call in until what ended up happening is he called her other sister who lives in like NorCal. She didn't answer and she hadn't listened to the message yet. And then we were on the phone with my mother-in-law's mom, and she was saying she got a call from some guy saying he had a package that he had some questions about. Like, he
That's so weird.
like, I don't know, went online and found phone numbers connected to like
He
all
was
of
doing the
the women
Melissa
in the family,
thing.
and
I
tried to
know.
put all of the
He was
women
on
in the
Family
family
Tree
based on
Now.
a woman's handwriting, just so that he could like scan his way into getting
That's good.
like approval to open the package to check if there was drugs in it.
That's bizarre.
Get a life.
Because he
dude.
said there was rice falling out of the package, even though it was an unopened bag of rice in the package. And it just reminded me of that. And I'm sorry if this story sucks. But,
No, it doesn't.
I just had to let you guys know. Okay.
I think that was a honk honk that got cut off.
Yeah.
That seems
The fuck,
Can't they
man? That's so
just-
weird.
open the mail if they suspect drugs are in it.
Apparently not.
That seems creepy. Like that.
We should
that's
do a
weird.
whole episode on like the mail, like sending things in the mail, like how mail.
I have a funny mail story.
Let's hear it.
When my
Wait, you had a funny mail story the post office, how you learned that you couldn't put.
I love the mail. So my grandma, when the Unabomber was a thing,
Oh, boy.
my grandma, every time she would send mail or a package, would write, "This is not a bomb" on the
Oh
package.
my
Oh my
God.
God.
And my mom had to be like, "Grandma, like, you don't need to write that. Like, if anything, it makes it seem like it is a
Yeah.
bomb. Like, you
Oh
don't
my
need to."
God.
But my grandma, like a sweet, like 85-year-old lady, like in her change,
no.
like, "This is not a bomb. Like, it sees candy." Like, it was just so funny.
Was it always opened and like repackaged by the post office?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. My mom told me this.
They always
story,
put a
like,
note
few
on
years
that's
ago.
like, "This has been opened and searched."
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
really funny. It's not a bomb, I promise. Okay, lady. Okay, voicemail.
Hi, this is a message for web crawlers. This is Haunted Possum calling in again.
Hey.
To leave a voicemail, not about my family member, but a family friend whose son disappeared in a really mysterious, creepy way. So my dad's childhood best friend had a son named Mike. And when Mike was 23 years old, he left his home and drove about 40 miles to go pick up diapers for his son. When he never showed up back home, they filed a missing persons report, everything like that. He was seen on the Walmart surveillance video, buying the diapers and leaving. And then they found his Bronco abandoned on the side of the highway. And the tires were all fine. There was no engine trouble. All 4 doors were unlocked, and the keys were actually in the ignition. Started up right away, so he didn't pull over for engine trouble. And this was in a really isolated spot, like most of Montana. And so they did a search, found nothing, which isn't surprising because it's a huge area. The Billings Police Department ruled it a suicide.
What?
Because a lot of people just abandon their cars on the side of the highway and walk miles into a forest and shoot themselves. It's like a couple years later, about 100 miles from where his vehicle was last seen, a rancher found a human femur. So he took it into the police, and they actually ended up tying it back to Mike, who had been missing for quite a while at that point. And that is the only sign of Mike that has ever been seen since. This was in 2013. We don't know how his femur ended up so far away. Probably scavengers, because there would have, in that area, there's grizzly bears, black bears, coyotes. But as to how he ended up dead, he was only 23, is totally unknown. I don't know. My thought has to be that someone pulled over or someone was on the side of the highway.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the voicemail.
Is there another voicemail?
I don't think there's a part 2. She's probably like, fuck it. That's crazy.
Well, okay, let's finish what she's saying. So she thinks there was probably someone at the side of the highway, and then maybe he pulled over to help them or something like that, and then they killed him. Maybe
that's possible.
And then drove off.
Maybe
is
he
what
ran
I
out
think
of
she was going to
gas?
say.
Or no, she said no engine trouble.
There was no problems with the car.
Wild.
I have another question relating to this story that is not the main subject line of the story.
It's about grizzly bears.
No, but close. Are coyotes and coyotes the same thing, and you just pronounce it differently based on
I believe
where you're
so.
from?
I think so.
Do you guys say coyotes?
I say coyote. I say coyote.
Coyote.
The coyotes.
Cool, just wondering.
You say coyote.
Coyote sounds way more like Southwestern.
Yeah. Coyote, yeah. Okay, here's another voicemail.
This message is for web crawlers. This is Kimberly from the Bridgewater Triangle. So I wanted to call because I have a story about where a serial killer tried to pick me and my friend up one day. So a lot of people don't know this guy. His name's Gary Lee Sampson. He's from Abington, Massachusetts, which is partly in the Bridgewater Triangle, if you were wondering. So this guy, did some robberies, and then I think in, New Hampshire. And then he came to Abington, which was my hometown, where he tried to turn himself in by calling the FBI from 7-Eleven right down the street from me.
That's cool.
And he tried to turn himself into the FBI in an attempt to surrender, but the FBI disconnected the call and never showed up to arrest him. So he's like, well, fuck it, then I'm just going to kill people. So he ended up killing three people, one of which was actually tied up at the restaurant in town, the Abington Ale House. So every time I go to eat there, which also, by the way, has a haunted house in back of it. So literally behind the haunted house was a legit murder where some guy was tied up to a tree and gagged and I think stabbed to death.
Oh my God.
So that was fun. Before, I don't know when this happened, but around the time it happened, me and my friend were walking down the street to my house, and this guy pulled over
and asked if we wanted a ride. And me being me with my parents, I mean, we went, no, and tried to run away. But my friend, because I'm afraid of everything, my friend thought she might know who it is. I thought it was just her uncle's friend. So she walked over and was like, oh, hey, no, we're good. She actually lives right there. We're only like 100 feet from it, so don't worry about it, but thanks. And then he drove off, and I said, do you know who that was? She's like, I thought I did, but I don't think I know who that was. So I was like, oh, great. So good thing we didn't get in that car. And then later that night, or maybe the next day, don't remember exactly. I was like 7th or 8th grade at the time. I look at TV, and he got arrested, and the guys, that was the person who tried to pick me and my friend up. I swear.
Oh, my God.
My friend has no memory of this, but I do, because the guy has orange hair. Like, if you look up a picture of him, you'll see he has, like, dead eyes, crazy dead eyes, and this awful, like, orangey hair. Listen, I love my gingers, but this guy just is not a good look for him. And he just is crazy looking, and I just remember those eyes and that hair. And he definitely tried to pick us up. So,
Jeez,
at least that's what my head tells me.
That's the end of the message. Wow.
Holy shit.
Bridgewater Triangle.
Gary Lee Sampson. What?
Do not get into the car with anyone who offers you a ride, even if you know them, honestly.
Know them.
Yeah, because you never know when they're going to
Like, if you are not already in the car. Seriously.
You never know.
You don't know.
We got a message from Poppy.
The YouTube influencer?
No, it's not the YouTube influencer. She wanted us to say a message to her mom. Say, Paula, Poppy would like to know what's for dinner tonight. Her and her mom love the podcast.
That's nice. I wonder what is for dinner.
Yeah.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Can you smell what Poppy's mom is cooking?
It's whatever's in Maria's slow cooker.
Yeah.
Instant pot.
Tikka masala.
Instant
Hell
pot.
yeah.
Tikka masala.
Tikka masala. So
right,
Poppy
you guys, I
says
made
boing to all that.
Then we'll do one last email, and it's called Synchronicity from a listener named Allie.
Oh.
Hi, ladies. I've listened to every episode in real time, right from Elisa Lamb. I've always wanted to write in, but never had a cool story to share until now.
Ooh.
I was watching the seance live the other day. It was around lunchtime here in Australia.
Oh.
Down under.
Down under.
Down under. My cousin had just had a baby a few hours earlier and hadn't settled on a name for the baby. I was vibing with the instruction John had given at the beginning of the seance to consider every weird thought that popped into your head in case it was something.
Right.
Every male name that got brought up during the show, I just kept thinking, what if they named the baby that? It got to the point in the seance where John asked something like, is that noise Asher? And Allie responded by calling out Asher's name to get him to stop jingling around. At that exact moment that Allie called out Asher, a text came through from my aunt, and all it said was Asher James Wilson.
Oh.
They had named the baby Asher.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe how much of a weird coincidence it was. And after hearing Craig's stories of synchronicity, I just had to share.
That's crazy.
Love your work, Allie.
That's wild.
That's
so
nuts.
crazy. My mind is blown every time I hear something weird like that. It just is so crazy.
That is, I mean,
Come
that
on.
the same time that I say Asher, she gets a text
That's
that her
so
new nephew is named
weird.
Asher.
That's so weird.
It's crazy.
Something's going on.
Something's
happening.
in the air.
The world is collapsing in on itself.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, if you want to call in, please call us at insert jingle here.
626-604-6262.
Or you could email us at webcrawlerspod@gmail.com. And we will read your emails, play your voicemails, and also please leave us reviews, because God knows they keep the lights on.
God knows.
God knows they keep the lights on. You know, is it odd or is it God?
It's odd.
Also join our Patreon, patreon.com/webcrawlers. And that's about it, you know. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetton.
And our producer, Maria.
All right. Stay safe out there. Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.